Good morning and welcome to beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're just approaching the island here. There's the fort, San Juan, and about to go on offshore onto an excursion to take a tour of old town of San Juan. It's gonna be an exciting adventure and great day, I think. So, see you soon. Enjoy Puerto Rico. Amazing. Not at the moment.
I don't understand. I connected to their Wi-Fi on the ship, and it's still not. I still can't get it.
You might have to go down to the desk excursions and talk to them about it. Then again, we're in U.S. territory. You should be able to access the local phone network here, I would think.
I got a message from Alan this morning that he sent Saturday night,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't get it all. I just got one of it.
15 minutes, I gotta get down there. Wow, this is amazing. That might be where I'm going today, to tour San Juan
You've
here.
never been before?
No.
I thought you had.
Nope, never have. First time.
Real life had a cab driver, and his daughter had a boutique,
Mm-hmm.
and he took us downtown to the boutique. See it all around the city. The courthouse is just this beautiful little city. It's big, it's real big. Reminds me of Jacksonville.
Like St. Augustine, the size of Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's huge. city to me is not as pretty as St. Augustine, but there's nothing she can do.
Well, you know, it's every city's got its own charm.
She see how big it is?
Mm-hmm. The more modern San Juan's that way, I think, toward where the hotels are.
I want to go pull in our backyard. It's so tough.
Small view of the old San Juan City. So I'm going to give each family one because since you're going to stay around for a while, that could also help you. Okay.
Here's our tour guide map of Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. And now we're off on a tour. Oh, no, I got all safe and sound. The only person I lost the other day was a Korean lady. She didn't follow instructions. She was with 5 of her friends. They were like high school friends. That some still live in Korea, the other one live here in the States. And this one, she stayed behind at the end of the tour. She got like lost, but it's easy. You come back to the ship and it's safe. So yeah, and we found her. Anyway, all these tables, these are local crafts. The artisans are right here on the tables. And they're beautiful things. We work with wood, we work with this jewelry, with reused material. So it's very nice if you later want to come back. The advantage of buying from them is you don't have to pay the sales tax that we have in the island, which is 11.5. Now they also, there's stands like these that right. It's convenient because they're not that expensive. We don't have a list. Within the list of. And let's make a little quick stop here. I love these mosaics. They were done with a lot of the elements of the island.
We are a colorful island, and you will see that this city is also very colorful. It's part of the attraction that we did when the people of Puerto Rico retain again the city and kind of kept it alive in terms of the Spanish history. I love this guy. He just blocked the view that I wanted to show you. So I'm sorry. Let's move a little farther this way. The city that Spain built in this islet ends on the east side over here with the castle. So Spain built 2 large castles to defend this land and the empire from the attacks of the enemies of Spain. In those days, there were the British, the Dutch, and the French, mainly, right? So they were trying to seize a land that Spain had found, right, earlier. So when they try to attack this city, they will realize that they need to fortify it strongly. And one of the projects is that large castle. It's actually considered one of the largest. Ay, qué lindo. I like that. That's, yeah, well, there's a trash over there. So yes, it's one of the largest that the Spanish built in the New World as part of that construction. It's known as San Cristobal Castle. And if you are acquainted with UNESCO's World Heritage, we have these castles belong to the World Heritage of UNESCO, as well as the walls that they built in the city. You will see those walls when we start walking, and those walls were part of the defensive system that Spain built in this city.
Can we go in the castle?
We don't visit the castles themselves, but you can visit them. They have a cost of $10. If you're 50 or less, you would not have to pay. If you are some kind of a military or certain age, like, you can also get free entrance. And yeah, and those $10 work for both castles. So you have some time, and as you see, it's not very far. Like, walking from here to there is less than 10-minute walk uphill. Because we are in the lowest part of the city. As you go up north, you go uphill. We'll see that happen in a while when we walk, okay? Any questions, please feel free to ask all the time. I love to answer questions. Vámonos. And I like your camera, that's beautiful. Here we have Hotel Rumbao, formerly was a Sheraton hotel. And this side of the city does not look very colonial, right? The ports always adapt to the times in which they are, right? Before this was a port area, it was a cargo area. All the goods and the merchandise that come from the United States would come here. And in the times of Spain, actually they didn't use this area very much. The bay was wider. It was wider. And the port, I'm going to show you where they had their ships arrive. I'll show you that later. Esa mi lugar. Mata la cucaracha. Oh, it got nice and cool. Me gusta. That used to be the cargoes that came here. When I was younger, here's where they stopped.
Poor lady waiting for her loved one. I think she's expired a long time ago. There's a vivo lady, una mujer vivo, a live lady, a living lady, and a hombre.
I still haven't seen it though.
That was a good one.
Gotta love the way they interact with each other here.
Yeah, get one.
Ay, caramba.
No problem.
Bonito, bonito. ¿Cómo están? Nice souvenirs. You see, so everybody has their nice display. Again, you could come back later, look around, or go to the shops.
Let's see.
Bonito, bonito.
Is this the town square here?
Well, the city has many squares.
Many
because
plazas.
Spain, as they
True.
developed the city, they would add more plazas. It was the only open space they had. It became a very crowded city.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this is one of them. Actually, it's called Plaza de las Dársenas. Dársenas means like a
Dársenas.
safe place.
Okay.
We'll talk about that very soon because this is where the first, one of the ports that Spain built. Ay, pero qué bonito.
Boricua. Boricua, it means Puerto Rican native, right? thought so.
Exactamente. Here we, okay, I think he can do this tour. He knows a lot.
No, I don't know enough to the city. You have to show us around.
So he said
I know some lingo, but-
Boricua, and Boricua means a Puerto Rican
Native.
native. And yes, actually, that is why we call ourselves Boricuas. You look like a Boricua. A ver, vecino, vecino, qué bueno. Saludo. Yeah, they're from Venezuela. So yeah, anyway, Puerto Ricans, right? The name Puerto Rico will come later in the process of colonizing the island. When Christopher Columbus arrived in the island on the west side in 1493, that was November 19, he first of all met indigenous. There were people living here already. We know them as Taínos. Taíno means
Indian.
we are good people.
Okay.
And the Taínos populated all the island. They had a chief, Agüeybana. And Christopher Columbus met Agüeybana in those days that he spent here, but it was a few days. He left. But one thing he was commissioned to do was everywhere where he spotted and he landed, he had to name it using a Christian name. So when he landed here, the name that the queen, because it was the queen who ordered him to do this, she told him, name this island St. John Baptist, or the island that you would discover, St. John Baptist. So our original Spanish name will be that one. It's a Christian name. Then, but before that, that's where we're going to go to Boricua. But before that, our Taínos had a name for the island, and it was Boriqueño. We're not sure if it's Boriquén, Borique, Borinquen, but somewhere around there, the writings of the priests who wrote that story, right? They would mention that that was the name that the Taínos gave to this land of the valiant Lord. And that is why today, Puerto Ricans, because we feel that pride, like you mentioned, that pride, and by the way, his name is George, okay? That pride for the origins, our ancestors, we like to be called Boricuas. But we're also called Puerto Ricans. And when did Puerto Rico come into the city? Well, actually, when Juan Ponce de León was appointed governor to the island. When he was appointed governor to the island, the island still wasn't populated by Spanish. Only a few pigs and cows that were thrown every time ships passed by and put some cattle here and let things happen, right? And the indigenous were also here. So when Juan Ponce de León comes, he was established on the other side of the bay. Here's where the mainland is. He sees the island, but he's not interested in this piece of land, which was barren. It doesn't have water source. And he was interested to be next to where the Taínos were living, because that's where the water, the river, everything's happening. So what he did was stay there on that side and call the bay Puerto Rico. Why? What does Puerto Rico mean?
Rich port?
Rich
Port of riches?
port, right? A rich, abundant port. A port that potentially would become a very prosperous place for cargo to arrive, right? For commerce to happen. So he was interested in that, and that's how he called the bay Puerto Rico. When the Crown of Spain orders the people that were living there, they were around 40, no more than 100, to move to this islet, then they'll call this islet San Juan Bautista de Puerto Rico. So that's a very long name. And what happened organically, people started calling this city San Juan and the island Puerto Rico. So it just happened. That's the way we wanted things to happen. The people that were here at that time. So anyway, now you know why we have Boricua. And do you know any Boricuas in the United States? No,
Poquitos.
I don't know You know Boricuas? Yeah, Florida after.
They don't refer to themselves with Boricos when they're there. They just call them Puerto Ricans.
Yes, Puerto
I'm sure
Ricans
native,
are Boricuas.
the natives say that among themselves mostly.
Yes, we call ourselves Yo soy Boricua, para que tú lo sepas. So you haven't met any Boricua? Well, we're
I know
very
many.
loud, colorful people, you can tell. And as a fact, the island has a population of 3.2 million Boricuas, but in the mainland, in the United States, there's 5.8. Okay, so yeah, there's more out there than here. Why is that so? There is a historical reason. In 1917, on the 2nd of March, we were granted citizenship. Okay, and the reason why that happened, we'll discuss it later, right? Because we'll go into political matters and talk a little bit about our political system. But yes, that gave us a free pass, right? Like you have to come here, no passport required. Same thing happens with Puerto Ricans. So every time things get bad around here, what do? Get our 2 pieces of luggage, just move on, right? And go to the States. And we've had waves of migration. They happened in the 30s and the 40s.
New York.
People going to New York, Connecticut, all that coastal towns. Later to Chicago, more the city than the state. And Texas, a lot of educators, teachers are hired in Texas and all these Spanish-speaking community states. And after Hurricane Maria, which happened in 2017, we had 250,000 Puerto Ricans leave the island. That's 250,000. And you know where most of them are now? Kissimmee. Kissimmee and Orlando. So Mickey Mouse now is bilingual, for sure. Yes, definitely. So yes, Puerto Rico, the beautiful island with a very large population of Boricuas. So let's move a little farther so we can see this Bay Area. All cities have secrets, and I'm going to tell you a few of the secrets. One of them is if you're a geocacher, you know what that is, geocaching? There is one of the clues, like in a pipe, like a water sewer pipe. You open it, and they have, I opened it the other day, and they leave little souvenirs and stuff. And usually the people that do the geocaching, they leave the date when they arrive. So that's kind of like an app, kind of like the thing that you did with the Pokemon, catching it around. So it's the same thing, but it's clues around the city. And one of them is right in that area behind the lady. So if you're a geocacher one day, you know where the first clue is in San Juan. Let's move on. Sorry, there's a little puddle here, but we'll go on the side. I usually go that way, but
Oh, what's a little puddle?
see, it's a little puddle.
I went through streams yesterday, rivers
Yeah, it was clean water.
in Dominican Republic. Yes, Dama Agua Falls, that's right.
We did that.
Yes.
Back to back. So we did that for our first time.
Oh, okay.
So you're doing this trip twice.
Well, we did a different, what's it called, on the first one. Now we're on
The second with other
Yeah.
That's easy.
Oh, beautiful view of the bay here. Look at this. Wow.
So here, let's stop here. I know we've got a little background sound of cooking. I can do it. So this area, which has a peninsula over here, was a bay, a port area for the Spanish. Actually, the bay was, like I said, it's whiter. It's here. It's all white, much whiter. And then in the early 1900s, we're going to have a whole transformation. This becomes more a large port with cargo coming because the United States made an agreement with Puerto Rico that everything that we receive has to come from a port in the United States, from a U.S. cargo ship. It cannot come from international cargo ships. So that's why this port became very relevant in the 1900s. And with that said, we have the U.S. Customs building from the 1930s. We have which, as you can see, has a lot of the Spanish elements, which will remain in the we're going to call it, it's a architectural movement called Spanish Revival, and it's going to have a lot of the Moorish, the southern part of Spain influence. Next to that building is a small yellow building. That was plays an important role here because we are kind of like a Bermuda Triangle with Brooklyn and South America, and they will use this, our island, as a connection to the United States. So U.S. Coast Guard has a great job. And also we have people coming from Dominican Republic. And yesterday you were there, right, in Amber Cove?
Yes.
George was mentioning. So we have between Dominican Republic and the island a strait called the Strait of Mona. Mona, because we have an island here that's called Mona. Isla de Mona, we call it the Caribbean Galapagos because it is, nobody lives there, and the species that live there are unique to the island. So Mona, that the Taínos called Amona in those days, is here, so that's why the strait is called the Strait of Mona. And yes, Coast Guard also makes sure that no sails come and smuggle Dominicans, which is for the people that usually travel and look for a place in the island to live and to work while they can fix their papers or get caught, like it's happening lately, sadly, but it's happening. So anyway, this in the times of Spain was a port. You see these posts, this comes from Spain. This is the original from the times of the Spanish were here, and they've been moved around. Then one important thing, like I mentioned, this is a walled city, but you don't see the walls in the south because the merchants in those days of Spain, they decided, or they put pressure to the government to demolish those walls because cargo was hard to get into the city. Right in front of us there was a door, and that door opened into the city with all the merchandise, but they needed more space, so they put pressure and demolished them. But we're going to start seeing the walls as we move west, okay? So let's get out of here because it's very noisy. So today's Tuesday, yes.
Food bodegas, they're not open today. On Tuesdays, they're not open, I'm told.
All these food vendors are not here today because they don't open on Tuesdays. But I want to just point out words that are Spanish, like churros.
Oh, yes.
Good, right? With very hot chocolate. So yes, we have a lot of things that we adopted from the Spanish, including our language. And I say by the Spanish, you probably are thinking, but aren't you a Spanish person?
No.
Well, actually
No.
not. Puerto Rican does not feel that we are Spanish. Spain, yes, ruled here for 400 years, but they were over there. The king never showed up around here, and he was the owner of all of this land. So basically, we just learned things from them, adopted them, but we still had our traditions from the Taínos. Now, here's a story about the Taínos. There were around 100,000 living around the island, and what happened was that at first they thought these Spanish people were gods. The armors they had. Taínos were naked. They literally didn't wear any outfit. Only the ladies, when they were married, they wear a small girdle. So besides that, the Taínos, like, you know, they were very free-spirited, right? And they only had some paint. Maybe they would wear a feather from a bird, but not something very elaborate. Thing is, they saw these men, they thought they were immortal. When they left, because remember Columbus leaves, they have this thought, but when Juan Ponce de León comes and these people start settling, they start asking these Taínos to do work in the river, pick up gold, because that was one of the things that the Spanish wanted, right? To get gold, obtain gold. The islands did not have much of that resource. It is later when they travel to Peru and Mexico that they find all the gold.
Chocolate.
However, the islands had a strategic location which made it favorable. So they did not all leave the island. But going back to the Taínos, when they started doing the hard work, they got a little pissed off with these guys. So one day, while they were working in the river, there was a Spanish soldier and he got him through his throat, neck, put him in the water. Wait there like for an hour. And after an hour, they pull him up and say, well, if he's immortal, he will wake up. He did it. And they said, they die just like us. So this is the time to rebel. And the rebellion of the Taínos happened in 1511. Okay, it's the brother of Aguaybana, the big chief, that will rebel against, and he will form like a military. But of course, their weapons are not the Spanish weapons, and they cannot, and they're not outnumbered, but they did not have the skills that the Spanish soldiers had. So yes, many of them will die in these battles, and some will simply escape. Others die from diseases that the Spanish have. Right, there's a mention of syphilis.
Yes,
right?
they brought that.
And because of that, many died. But it wasn't the only cause. There were several causes. But we are sure and guaranteed that many of them survived. They just hid. Now, the fate of women was different. Women were beautiful. They were naked, so they could see the whole package. And Spanish crown said, men, you can take these women into marriage, right? You can have them as your wife. Look at this guy. Look at that. A Corvette. I told my husband the other day.
Talk about pimp your ride.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Corvette. Oh, like yeah. So anyway, going back to the story. So the females are kind of going to merge. So there you see the Taínos going to remain because they're going to start mixing with these Spanish men. And then comes the African culture. What happens? Well, when we lose all these workers because they start fighting against the Spanish, we don't have a working class. So what are we going to do?
Import Africans.
And the priests are the one that suggest, you know what? Africans are strong. They were born for this. They should be the ones that we should put to the hard work. Can you believe it? After they made those claims and they forced the African trade slave, they were a little bit sorry for what they said. But yes, it was the priests trying to protect the Taínos that started bringing other people and turning them into slaves, right? Enslaving them. So with that, became a profitable business more than a profitable business called the African trade slave that was very strong in the Caribbean. And they mainly did the work of the sugarcane, which is going to be an industry that will start developing. Sugarcane is introduced with Spanish when they arrived. They brought a lot of things. Coconuts. All the coconuts that we have, they're not from here, they're from Asia, right? And other crops that they will introduce and with it make an industry. Slaves are gonna have that part in working and developing those industries. So I have this beautiful lady coming. I better move on because we're gonna have a
For me, Sarah. Watch your step. Skip the speed here. And watch the traffic.
Do you have these in St. Augustine?
We used to have a lot of roads that were brick and not much anymore, but if you go down St. George's Street, it pretty much is, they used to have bricks and people were getting their shoes stuck on them.
Ooh.
So they repaved it into slanted concrete.
Okay.
But you still got to watch your step in many areas of St. Augustine. There's a lot of uneven parts of the pavement. So yes,
Right, I know.
The little town that we live by in Illinois has bricks, but like red bricks.
Red bricks, okay.
Streets.
yeah, 35 years ago, they used to have a lot of bricks. St.
A lot
Augustine,
of
they took them
bricks.
out. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the color of these, and yep. There we go. Oh, the other is going elsewhere. Good. Thank you. So I usually look for shades, but yeah, why not a little bit of sun? Let's feel it. Let's enjoy it. Still mild sun. So here we are, and the first thing we see that calls our attention probably are the cobblestones. And like I asked my friend George, who lives in St. Augustine, do you have those?
There's few left in the
Right,
city.
so
Yeah.
he actually, like these, you don't see them. Okay? I went to Europe and when I traveled, one thing I did was take photos of the cobblestones that are in Europe. And I did find that nothing was like this. So let me tell you the story of the pavers. In the 1800s, just the time when I said this city got very populated. Why? Because there were no more attacks. the city had many attacks, one back to back. That's how it turned into a walled city. And later, the city became popular because it was so well protected. So too many people were living inside, and with that, they had to reform, right? And one of the things they did, or two of the things, one we're gonna walk through, and this one is the roads that were just dirt roads or river rocks. And those river rocks were not convenient. They were round, so they weren't good for walking. People could stumble even more than this. So Spain or the Spanish government here will decide to look for a company that has pavers that are good and at an affordable price, because there wasn't too much money for these colonies. So they went to Sunderland in Liverpool, England. And it's there they find this company that they happen to melt iron, and the molds where they remove the iron have the remains of some metals that are lighter, right? So they'll stay in the lower part of that mold, and mainly cobalt, which are the bluish color, will give that color. And that's very interesting because you can see the different colors. That tells you that every time a mold was done, some were lighter, right? Depends on the amount of cobalt. And if there was iron left, then you'll see a black one. There's some black, not many. And then
Black one.
a regular brick, right? You see the
Yes,
very black
I
one?
found it.
Yes. There's a street that has a lot of brick-like ones, and then a lot of the bluish. So this was a late project, 1890. When the United States entered, 1898. So in less than 10 years, they were not able to complete the work. But many streets you'll see these. The substitute for this one happened in the 20th century. In 2005, they started repaving the city, uncovering some of them because some streets had been put tar on top. So when they uncovered, they rebuilt, right? Redo some of the streets, and others now have a new kind of paver that's called Old San Juan Blues. It is a modern one because this company does not exist anymore. And these pavers, new pavers, are all the same color, not as pretty, but they're very sturdy. They're made of volcanic fly ash. Okay.
Interesting.
So yes, you'll see these two types of pavers in the streets, but these are the old, historic, beautiful ones. They could be prettier if we didn't have traffic. So this is one thing that, as a local, I would like to say that some streets should be without traffic so that we can just walk and enjoy. But that hasn't
That's
happened.
how it is in St. Augustine. Some areas are blocked off with the pillars, columns, and you can walk. Others, traffic can go down, but it's like one way.
Exactly.
And we still maintain red. Wherever bricks are, they're still red in St. Augustine.
Right. So again,
Few places,
I think
though.
we should do a better job. You'll see some roads that literally those bricks are even popping out. If you take one of them, which is easy to grab, they're heavy though. They could fine you up to $5,000. So don't try it.
Wow.
Were these all manufactured in Puerto Rico?
No,
or is it now all
these
imported?
in England.
You
brought-
talked about getting the cobalt there. I just didn't know if it.
See that. So that was the process of making it, but all this happened in Liverpool. So they were brought. Some on Google, some people say that these were used as ballast. No, that's not true. They were shipped and they were brought for the process, and it was, like I said, in less than 10 years. Whatever they purchased, that's what we have. Not all streets are paved, like I said, with these. These are the originals. The other ones, you'll see them along the road. So here behind us, we have the walls, right? Go all the way to the castle we saw and went up. Now, 2/3 still exist. We're gonna see them in the map. Please come with me. And something that is very iconic of our city is the garita. We call it a sentry box. Did you know that the U.S. Mint, a quarter, has a garita? Okay, I'm gonna show you that quarter right now. So this is from the year 2009. Those were the years when for each state had a quarter.
I see.
Yeah.
And when
I
they
see.
did the one for Puerto Rico, being a territory,
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yes, this is the
Saw a
San
few of those,
Juan
yeah.
and the symbol of the garita.
You have it upside down, I think.
I
No.
do.
Maybe,
it's
no, you don't.
correct. It's correct, yeah.
You do.
So yeah, I
Correction.
could pass
Sorry,
it
my
around
fault.
and see it. We also have one of, that's the garita. So you can see that garita there. Okay, it's a 2009. So when you go back home, or maybe in Puerto Rico, you might find one. Let's get close to the map.
Here's your quarter.
You know how many quarters I had to look to find that one?
Just don't eat that. Galleta means cracker also in Spanish, right?
what?
Galleta.
La galleta.
Yeah, don't eat. Don't confuse that with a cracker.
Esta es una peseta.
Don't eat it.
We call it peseta.
Okay, that's right. Peseta. That's right.
Peseta.
Peso. Peseta.
So here's the map of the city, the same one you have in your small map. Oh yeah, please. You tell me, Adriana, stop. I need a picture. Please do. That's that the islet continues, right? We don't see it here. Actually, this lady represents a little bit of what is outside the islet. All the way to the lagoon. The Condado Lagoon is going to be at the end of the islet into the mainland. So this is part of the new San Juan. New San Juan is a very developed area. It has a touristic zone called Condado, where there are many very nice hotels. The oldest hotel there is the Vanderbilt Hotel. When John Travolta comes here to film,
Oh, really?
which he does, he stays in the Vanderbilt. Beautiful hotel from 1919. And the Condado Lagoon, home of manatees. If you like these sea cows, right, there they are in the Condado Lagoon. But the city does not want that. The Spanish people wanted to protect the entrance to the bay. So that's why they will build the city closer to that entrance and move farther east as long as where they wanted to. And they decided that with this castle, which is in a high point, the city would end. So there was a door to the land that does not exist because we don't have it here. There were doors to the port, which I showed you was here. And actually there were two doors. The one right in front of that street, but there was another one. Okay, and then as we moved east, the first door that was built, okay, and that door is the one we're going to go through like in 10 or 15 minutes. It's called the San Juan Gate. We call it La Puerta de San Juan, the first one built. And then we continue and walls will stretch all the way to the castle. Now that is the first castle built because the first castle was built to defend the entrance to the bay. Castillo San Felipe del Morro. And even though all this side is protected by the rocks formations that are hitting the Atlantic Ocean, right? So there are a lot of rock formations. Still, the Spanish crown wanted everything to be walls. So they will continue the walls until they reach the other castle. 3 miles of walls existed in
Wow.
the city, okay? But again, too many people crammed inside. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna build this path. And that's the path we're gonna take. It's called Paseo de la Princesa. The walkway or the promenade of the princess. And we'll talk about that later as we move on. And if you need restroom stop, again, a public restroom over there. Anybody needs it?
I'm good.
No problem. No problem. So walls are gonna stretch up to 100 feet tall. But since this is a busy area, notice the wall is not too high. As you get closer to very important structures, your walls are going to be much higher. In this space that now it's kind of like a garden, there was actually a garden that the Spanish built. It was more like a research garden, so they would grow crops and they would study plants. It was more for a research purpose. And the city up there. You can see the city up there. This is the lower part. The fountain that we see here, and actually, we're a small group, we do a lot of things. And actually, my friend is walking this way, so yes. Estoy pisando los talones.
Pero por lo menos no estamos
Mira, si los otros días yo tenía íbamos por los mismos sitios y era como que quién llega primero.
Ajá, no, pero lo estamos manejando bien. Sí, hay que cuidar ya para nosotros.
Gotta wait for the tourists to pass by.
There are large walking groups, right?
This is the fountain, huh?
So this fountain, even though it's from Spanish time, we don't exactly know the origin of where it was placed. But one thing I could tell you, this was a problem in this islet. One of the reasons that Juan Ponce de León did not want to establish here is because there wasn't a water source. We did not have a river. We don't have big mountains here. They were just hills and very rocky hills. So we need to find a source of water, and it was found farther east, outside of the city where the lagoon was. There was a town that today we call Miramar, and they had fresh water there. So they built something like this. This was very similar to what they had, a fountain where people had to walk 1.5 miles to get water to bring it to the city. And these were kind of the fountains where they would just bring their jars or whatever they had, and then with it walk. Not a convenient thing, right? They probably didn't take the shower. So the solution is to collect rainwater. So whenever it rained, there were in the houses and in the big large structures, there were channels, and there was an interior patio where under the patio there was a water collecting system. So it was like a large cistern, a chamber that served as a place to collect the water. Then you would have a well on that same patio where you could pull up the water. You also had stairs because it was like a room where you could clean it and keep it, safe and nice so that the water would always be fresh, right? And you wouldn't have any problems. They did not allow pets or animals. For example, in the castles, no horses could be there. So all the time the water was kept fresh, okay? So that was the problem here in the city that Bosa de Leon saw, and he didn't want to come here. Actually, he never came. He went to look for the fountain.
Youth in St. Augustine.
And that's when he reached Florida. Later, St. Augustine will be formed because he dies right when he finds Florida. He's wounded by an indigenous.
That's
and
right.
He leaves the island, or he leaves Florida, the peninsula, and he travels to Cuba, and there he dies.
Cuba, okay.
Yes, he dies the same year that this city is established, 1521. Okay, so anyway, this fountain represents a little bit of that situation that they had here, but let's move on.
It's beautiful.
I know. Our tropical vegetation is very varied. And the good thing, very nice. I love it. Take pictures, please enjoy. So in the times of Spain, one thing that was very important was religion. Religion was central. The island was named with a religious name. And later...
I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Felisa Rincón de Gautier. Her name is here in the plate.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
And you
Thank
have all the information of her. We'll talk about that very soon. But I'm going to take you to why is she the mayor and what about the island. So the island, as it started to get populated, one thing that everybody that lived here had to be was Catholic. Language is not a problem, although I imagine everybody had to speak Spanish, right? But it wasn't a thing, but it was religion. So if you were here, you were a slave, whatever you were, you had to be Catholic. Even the Taínos had to convert to the Catholic religion. And, hi Leo! He's a great tour guide. Todo bien? Yeah, he's okay. So what happened was that every time people would come to live here, the requirement to make a town was a church. And if you lived in a faraway place, you had to make a town because you needed a church. So in less than 300 years, Puerto Rico was divided into 72 municipalities. We call them municipios or towns. And that is a lot. When we become part of the United States will not change this. So they'll leave all these towns, and each town is going to have a mayor. So you can imagine the consequence of that. A lot of government money that goes into the town, the city hall, the mayor. And we're talking about towns with population of 5,000, 10,000 people. It's not a very good
situation.
Yes. So it's not a very good use of money. So we have that as a problem. But going back, we have San Juan, capital city. Are they calling me? Come on, I'm not the mayor of the city. Please, leave me alone. So yes, one of the first mayors, female mayors of the island and of this capital city, no se preocupe, is this lady. As it says here, she was mayor from 1946. Okay, but she also loved sewing. She had a flower shop. She was a great lady. You can see she used fans, and she loved wearing wigs. But besides that, being the first lady, she was one of the first 5 women to vote in those days. And she was a very well-known lady. She had Kennedy, President Kennedy, and his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, come to Puerto Rico in those days when she was a mayor. And they say that Jacqueline was a little warm or hot from the heat, and she took her fan and gave it to her as a gift. So that was the type of lady she was. And another thing she loved was kids. She loved kids. And kids in Puerto Rico were very poor. Actually, they were barefoot most of the time. So she would buy shoes for them. And once she found out that she can bring snow from the East Coast, and you know what she did? Yes, she brought snow to Puerto Rico in 1950, 51, and 52. She would park it in a big Sealand truck, right, and bring it to a park, open it up, and have the kids enjoy the snow until it melted. I don't know how long that lasted, but it did happen. One curious thing, the first year it appeared, right, that she brought snow, kids dressed up to receive the snow. Guess how they dressed?
Santa Claus? Papa Noel?
Swimming suits.
I've seen the pictures, and it's funny, and some of those kids are still alive. Cowboys.
Oh, cowboys. Vaqueros.
So why? Because the perception of the American was bonanza, the days of bonanza and the cowboys. I remember my first husband, he would say that when he was a little guy, when he grew up, he wanted to be a cowboy. So there was certain admiration to the United States connected to being a cowboy. Maybe for you it doesn't make that sense, but that was the mentality of the Puerto Ricans here that did not have a chance to go to the United States. So anyway, Doña Fela, like we call her dearly, she was a great woman. She died at 93, if I'm not wrong. And again, there's so many stories, books about her. She was born in a town on the east side called Ceiba. And her father was in politics, so she was always around that kind of ambience. And there we have her, a statue of her. So let's move along. And here we have kind of like an open amphitheater. Never used for that. Never used for that. However, this was the idea of the artist that made the sculpture that we're going to see now. His name, Jose Buscaglia. And even though he has kind of an Italian last name, he is a Puerto Rican. He's a sculptor and artist. And in the 1960s, he came up with this piece of artwork. He wanted this to be in the center. So he wanted this to be more like a speaking piece. It's called Heritage. We're gonna go there and see what this part represents. So let's do that quickly so we can move on. So here you can see it's more like a stage thing because again, that was his concept. But it took a while for the city to locate these sculptures here. Inheritance, what we inherited from the Spanish. If we start here on the left side, we're going to see religion. Catholic religion, which will be our only religion that you can follow in the island. Dominicans and Franciscans are two of the early groups of priests that will come to establish here and Christianize everybody. The arts, these are muses that represent different inspirations and forms of art, literature, architecture, music, among others, right? Here we have a man and a woman all naked because they are like muses that represent liberty. What a lot of people came to look for, an adventurous experience, and that's what they did when they came to the islands or to the Caribbean. On this side, behind the beautiful palm tree, we have a composition of 3 persons, right? In the middle, we have Juan Ponce de Leon. Juan Ponce de Leon, who represents that first man that was appointed governor of the island. So officially, he is the first governor of Puerto Rico. And that that happened in 1508, but he actually came to the island and established a hamlet on the other side of the bay in 1509. They put oil to those? Okay. They put, thank you. So 1509 is when he will actually establish a hamlet on the other side of the bay. And like I said, 1519 to 21, they will move here. Juan Ponce de Leon will not do. Next to him is a woman that looks like a Spanish girl, but actually she's a Taína. Like I said, the Taíno women are going to be taken by the men. And she's actually the sister of Agüeybana. Agüeybana, the chief of the island. So she will be taken into wedlock with probably a Spanish, not necessarily Juan Ponce de Leon. And you can see she has already a skirt, but she's still naked on the top. And she already has her hair placed probably in a Spanish style, because usually they have their long dark hair. And next to them, along with a small drummer boy that represents the African culture. Now the Africans and people that came as
There's a
slaves
lady and there's
were
the
not
drummer.
only from Africa, they also came from the south part of Spain. The Moors that were imprisoned, right now they were conquered. They had conquered for a while, now they were the conquered. And also we have people from islands that are on the west coast of Africa. So from that part we will have all of these people coming. And he represents that culture. Finally, this piece is a summary of the whole experience of inheritance. We have the Lady of Elches, which is a Phoenician figure that was found. Actually, she was found like a bust, but it's particular is her headdress is on the side. I always say she looks like Princess Leia of Star Wars. And yes, she's next to the conquistador man. Once again, just like the man of the that represents liberty. And together they show the new baby, right? The new world, a new conception, which will have all these elements that came together. Part of history, right? We cannot blame, accuse, like sometimes people do. We just have to listen to history and learn from it and move on, right? So let's move on because the sun is getting hot. Venga. This park was recently opened. It's the name of a famous character, Remy, Jose Remy Vega. He used to be a teacher, and one day he noticed that putting his face like a clown worked better for him. So yeah, he started doing his character as a clown, but he's a very educational clown. So they honored him with the name, naming the park after Remy. Okay, so let's move on. In the New World.
This is the yellow, it's the
yellow,
narrowest
yes.
apartment in the city.
Yes.
The narrowest
So,
apartment. Think of that. Wow.
In the times when the city was too crowded, people started building second floors, which were not allowed earlier in the colonial period, because they wanted to see the bay at its full extent. But when the city was not it was not being threatened by attacks, then people that started coming here were authorized to build up, and because there were no more spaces up, we started building on the sides. But this was an alleyway. So what they did is they used the alleyway and turned it into a full apartment. It is now owned by an architect. He has it open to public, kind of like a museum. And I'm not sure if it's $3 or $5. You can go in and see it and show it. The lady there will explain you a little bit about the history behind it, and you can see how everything is set up. It's a full apartment with bathroom, kitchen, everything. But you have to be a very happy couple, or solo like you, George.
Nice.
Because there's no more than that can fit there, right? Not even your pet. Can't have
And I thought my
pets.
room back home was small.
So yes, that is we call it la casa estrecha, the narrow apartment.
Okay.
The narrow building. Buenos días. Usted oirá cuánta historia hay, ¿verdad? Ya se la sabe todas las versiones. There's one fact I haven't been able to confirm. Some guides have mentioned that this is a Guinness World Record, that apartment, but I have not found that.
I have never heard of it before.
No, so far I cannot confirm that that is a world record. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on.
I thought Hong Kong had the world record for that,
Yeah.
because it was pretty crowded there at one point or
Oh
another.
yeah, for sure.
I could be wrong.
So that was a colonial thing. It happened around 1860.
Interesting, yeah. Or Tokyo, they had these what's called capsule hotels.
I know. I've seen
You
those.
don't live in them, you just stay in them.
Literally,
You're in a
it's
little
like
you're in a little
home.
cubicle. It's tiny.
No, I've seen those.
I don't think I could do that.
And in South America, they have some on the cliff of the big tall mountains.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
You have to literally.
Peru or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of that. I think I've heard of that. I'm not sure.
So guys, love when the sun hides for a while. People, here we are in front of this really large building outside the city. Right? So that means we don't want these people inside the city. When the city was too overcrowded, talking about 1837, we need to take some of those people inside. So who would you take out of the city? Who would you take out?
You mean removed from the city?
Yes, remove
Prisoners, I guess.
prisoners. Very good. Who else?
The lucky shot.
Slaves. We need them in the house to work. Okay, remove them. But some of them work. I take your word. It's true. Some of them work.
Foreigners, I guess, that they didn't want.
Foreigners.
Extranjeros.
Actually, Spain was very strict with that.
Okay.
And
All right.
Open at the same time. But we're good. We're with the prisoners. We're good. With the slaves, we're good.
Okay. Oh yeah, lepers. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And you don't have space for dead people.
Oh, that's right.
So in the
Yeah.
times of Spain, dead people were buried around the church, making the church space smelly. Yes, when they started putrefying, it smelled really bad. And they have to throw incense. You know, the church does it, oh man, and they'll put all the incense was for the smell. Prisoners, where were they? They were in the castles. So every government building had a small dungeon. So they're all scattered around the city. That's not a good idea, right? So what happened was, this was turned into a jail. Okay, in the south, we're gonna have a big jail outside of the walls of the city, but still close to government facilities. We're gonna see that later. Notice there's two dates, 1837, it was originally built, but then the tower and the clock was added in 1854 when this promenade was inaugurated. Therefore, the jail is gonna be called La Princesa, just like the promenade. This was a jail until 1960, which means that the United States also used it as a prison.
Wow.
Okay, and if today you go in, and you can later on if you want to, on the back part and the right side, there's still dungeons there of the times when Spain used this as a jail. Okay, so let's move on. Venga, ay, mira qué cae la chica.
A beautiful fountain ahead. Yes.
¿Verdad que sí? Called Roots.
Roots.
Venga, let's go. Oh, it's locked. Did we just do this?
No.
Magic happens. Venga, señoritas, who's going to the restroom? You just want to
Oh,
take
restroom.
a break?
I'm
You can
good.
all go in. No problem.
I want to take a
Today
moment.
is not the day of hanging people or anything. Today they're off. Venga.
They're going to the restroom. I'm going to take a break too. Oh no, I did something wrong. I'm in jail. No, actually, it's just the gate to the restroom here. They're going to the restroom. The tour is. I'm just taking a breather here. This tour is lots of fun. And history, the less you're inclined to do that. I've understood. Yeah.
So this piece, and I'm going to go quickly on this one because we want to move into the city and we're going to start to getting hungry, not hangry. This is raíces, roots. Contrary to the other piece, this one represents who we are now. We are a blend of cultures. Up that lady in the middle with the mask and three feathers represents those elements mixed. The man horse with the horse is riding those whole elements together. And this side is the influence of music into what is our rhythm. Our rhythms are musical instruments. The family will be an important element also of the family. And our personality will be on the back with a dolphin, which represents a happy, friendly, charming piece. So all of this represents like a ship. You see the water flowing, so it's a piece. Curiously, this is a Spanish artist who described the Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican artist is the one that described the Spanish influence. All of these art pieces are part of the new elements that an old city has. A city that is more than 500 years old. This Yeah, if you want to get some water and just pat your face with it, you're more than welcome. It's fresh water circulating.
I think I will. It's not hot today. Yeah. Good. I won't get Montezuma's revenge. Oh, look at this port. It's beautiful. Gotta follow our guide.
United States, Puerto Rican flag. The original flag is going to. And
That's
there's
the
always
original
been-
flag?
Yes. There's always been a little bit of conflict, even controversy of which is the flag. So let's talk about the history. This is the original flag. It had a light blue color.
Okay.
It is similar to Cuba's flag.
Yes, yes.
But the
color's
colors are
reversed.
inverted because both Cuba and Puerto Rico were the last territories under the Spanish crown that were remain in the New World. Everybody else had fought for their independence. Cuba and Puerto Rico were the last ones. Cuba, being a larger island, they had a military, enough soldiers to make a civil war against Spain. And plus, they had the United States helping them. So there will be a war, the Cuban-Spanish-American War, that will start with Cuba and the United States together fighting against Spain. But one day, the Maine drowned. There was an explosion and the Maine, who was
Yes.
in the coast of Cuba, drowned. And the United States blamed it on the Spanish. Still, it's a mystery who made that happen. But the truth is, the 200 soldiers there, they all drowned inside that ship. And with that, they declared war. So war became the piece that made Puerto Rico come into the scene. Because then, Puerto Rico will be attacked by the U.S. police. Okay? Now back to the flag. Before that happened, the flag was being designed in New York, 1895, because we wanted to fight against Spain, and we were trying to make forces, Cuba and Puerto Rico, to do that. But again, Puerto Rico, which is a smaller island, everybody was whistleblowing, so nothing could really happen. No big event happened besides El Grito de Lares, a very popular event that happened on the 23rd of, well, not the
Battle cry?
Yes, in March. So anyways, at the end of the story, when the United States comes, we close our flag. We don't use it, right? Because this was a revolutionary flag. And besides that, the only people that will use it are those that are not very happy with the relationship with the United States because they didn't ask us about it. They just went to Paris and signed a treaty, and the United States paid $20 million for this. So this was a transaction. So some Puerto Ricans started using their revolutionary flag and saying, you know what, we want the Yankees to go home. Green goes, that's the word, the green, because there were a lot of military dressed in green. Green goes home, and we start marching and protesting, and there was a lady and a few men that went to even to the White House and shoot. There was a shooting. In the
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Wow.
yes, Lolita Lebron.
No, I never heard of that.
Oscar Lopez. Yeah, they were jailed for many years
Wow.
because they went there. And they took a Wells Fargo thing over there. So we were very rowdy in those days. And what happened was that in the 30s, this flag, not only you could not use it, it was prohibited. And if you did so, you were jailed. That jail probably had a few prisoners that
Wow.
just did this and they were jailed. So in the 40s, late 40s, 50s, we're going to have a person that is going to create a little bit of mediation with the United States, and we're going to have a new form of government, a treaty called Commonwealth, and we will become a Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. I know Massachusetts, it's a Commonwealth, but that's in a different term. Our Commonwealth will give us autonomy to choose our governors, to have our own laws here, our own constitution, and with it, this flag, the official flag of the island of Puerto Rico, that if you notice is at the same height as the American flag. Does that happen with all the states?
No.
Your flag
No.
is at the same
It has to be a
height?
head above it. Yeah.
Okay.
The American flag's above it.
Yes, so
Other
no
states are
flag
lower.
above it, but in Puerto
Right.
Rico, that treaty and that agreement included putting our flag not only
Oh, okay.
but at the same height. Of course, a different flag, right? A dark blue, and that became a controversy. So there's people that say, no, that's not the original flag, that's not our flag, this is the flag, right? And then what about the black flag? is a door that is painted in Old San Juan in a street called San Jose. And that flag was painted after the fiscal board was appointed in 2016. So the fiscal board, remember I told you there's too much government money? The fiscal board was done so that Puerto Rico can handle their budget being controlled by that board. So people were angry and some artists just painted a wall black and white. Okay, that door is very iconic. It actually is a door that is trendy now. So everybody has a black and white shirt and you see that, but it's not an official flag. It's just part of the thoughts and the feelings of the island. Okay, so original, trendy flag, official flag.
Revolutionary and original revolutionary and official flag.
Instituted in 1952 with the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. And here we have All in America, another cruise ship coming in.
Wow.
We'll have a busy day around the city. Yes, vamos. A little bit of shade. That's the island, beautiful. You can do zip line over there. You can do a lot of fun things in our mountains. It's like 2,000 pages. So we have only explored 2,000. We have the third largest underground tunnel system in the world, even though we're so small. Yes. Well, in this city, there are in some areas, they're not, the whole city is not connected by tunnels, but there are parts that do have tunnels, passages that the Spanish built. Probably has a city. That might be an old not really inside some of the structures. Inside some of the structures, not necessarily the walls. So here we have this large structure here. When you leave San Juan, you will see two white towers. That is one of the oldest pieces of the city, where the first fortress was built. We talk about castles when we say in Northern San Cristobal, but the fortress was a small place where soldiers were supposed to guard the entrance of the bay. But the engineers that saw this said, this does not work. It's too low, it's not in a high point, and it's past the entrance of the bay, so forget it. This is not a fortress, it doesn't work. But we kept calling it the fortress, and then all our governors started living there. As of today, this is our executive mansion. All our governors come to live in this beautiful place that we call the Palace of St. Catherine. Okay? Yes, Leo. ¿Vas a hablar más abajo? Okay, no problem. Now, next to them, we have another structure, the first hospital the city had. In the early 1500s, we need to have a hospital, a fortress, the house of the governor, and a church. So those were the first four things we have in the city, nothing but that. And a few thatch roof houses that were destroyed with hurricanes, with fires, with anything that happened in the city. That was very common. Now, in this place now we have our, what we call nuns, Siervas de Maria. They came in the 1850s to live here, and now it is a hospital only for women. Okay? So they are the neighbors of our governor. Our governor today is a female. She's the third female governor in the island. Two of them were elected by the people. One was substituting a governor that resigned in 2019. But we have had governors. And outside of the walls, we can see these monuments. These represent growth. This is a Puerto Rican female artist that she did represent this crecimiento growth, which means that everything in society starts in a different way, but everything continues to grow. And that's what we have. Modern art expressing itself within old city walls. Vámonos. More beautiful views to see. Picture-taking moments. Another fight.
Ponce de Leon lived on one of these islands at the beginning. Okay.
And there
Wow.
is the entrance to, or the exit to the ocean, the entrance to the bay. It's a narrow passage, very convenient for the Spanish. Again,
That's a high wall.
I know today's not that blue. It's very important.
Okay.
the material from the mountains that had karstic formation, limestone. So the Spanish are going to look for those materials that are close to them. Sand, limestone, and water. And with them, they're going to create this cement-like that they're going to put along with bricks and rocks and many other things, and all together build walls. Walls that are not straight, they're slanted. It's one of the types of fortified system. If you put a ladder, it's gonna be too tall, you might fall, right? And the systems of climbing was more dangerous if you had walls that are slanted.
How thick are they?
Up to 20 feet thick. When we enter
Wow.
the door, you'll see the thickness, but they weren't solid. There were parts that
Okay.
were empty because if a cannon would hit it, it would absorb the
Okay.
impact. So they weren't fully solid. Okay, let's walk.
Interesting. In St. Augustine, ours are built out of local coquina rock, which is rock shells cemented together.
Ooh, nice.
And they're not. They don't need to be as thick. They are in some of the corners, but like you say, there are passageways and caverns where they stored gunpowder where it was cooler underneath in a
Well,
basement.
for gunpowder, not
Yeah.
this one. They would have places for gunpowder. They had spots in
Forget
the
what they
big
call it.
castles, but they also had them in the. They made houses for that, especially when
They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that in St. Augustine.
because of the size. You don't have space for that.
That, and they were afraid if the British or Spain were to shell it, boom, it'd go up.
Actually,
It was better protected underneath, they thought.
now that you mentioned that, they did that around the 1780s. That
That's-
came the British attack. Luckily, they did not enter the city because if
They
they
took
would've-
St. Augustine for 1 year.
See,
And Spain took their revenge from Cuba. They launched from Puerto Rico and Cuba, an armada, and got it back for another 150 years or so. Yeah.
Okay, good, interesting.
And it was a territory for unorganized territory. Spain didn't own it, but it was kind of Commonwealth. It was a territory for 200 years until 1854 when Florida was a state.
Then that's right.
And it became
Then
statehood.
Florida took it.
Because the 13 colonies in the U.S. expanded southward and westward.
Right.
Florida was the next one to be taken after, I think after Georgia, I'm not sure,
So here we have up there that
annexed.
that house up there with looks like I always say like a chess tower. That was the house of the Ponce de Leon family. Like I said, Ponce de Leon never moved here, but his family was the Crown of Spain gave them land. Part of that land they gave it to the church, and then we'll have the first convent of the Dominican order along with the first chapel for them to Christianize people in the city. But here's where the Ponce de Leon family lived. It had its own walls. So we're talking about 1523, 1524, right at the beginning of the city. Nothing was here, just that house up in a hill with its own walls. These walls will start building around 1634. So in 1634-35, we'll start seeing walls added to the city. Openings that are called embrasures. They will allow either guards to be, soldiers to be there with their muskets and hit, or cannons to be placed in a wide angle. So depending on where the ship is, they can hit.
Interesting. Looks like Gibraltar or Monaco in Europe
Okay.
a little bit.
Yes. Then we have a sculpture there of a priest with some women and children with torches. That is a legend. They say that these women and children, along with the priest, started making a procession when the British army of Sir Ralph Abercrombie attacked the city in 1797. They never entered the city. And they say that after that procession happened, they got scared because they thought there were more Spanish ships coming. So Abercrombie, such a very valiant and well-skilled man, he resigned to this battle saying that this city was impenetrable. Nobody can enter the city. And he never was able or capable of coming into the city. But the legend says it was their faith that brought him to an end, a closing of the war. You said that St. Augustine was British for a while.
1 year, yes.
1 year. Puerto Rico was only British for 1.5 months. When Sir George Clifford attacked the city in 1598, he took over what was there in those days and kept here for a month and a half. But his men started dying. This heat, the foods got spoiled, and they all died. So he ran before he lost his own life.
Oh,
and
wow.
left in 1598. Yes, indeed. So, before we die, let's go to the door.
There's also a smaller fort in St. Augustine I should mention called Fort Matanzas.
Uh-huh.
It's on an inlet, a river,
Okay.
just off the island. but it's not as well known.
Okay.
It's a little castle, like a little
I
mini.
need to go to St. Augustine for sure.
You should try it. You should go.
So here we have the materials that they use. Like
I
you
love
see
this.
bricks. Many of these bricks were done
Yes.
right here in the city. Others were brought in with the Spanish ships.
Mm-hmm.
And then the limestone with the sand made a covering that protected everything they used.
There's
and
the brick.
put together.
There's the brick.
Of
There's the
course,
covering.
another reason for doing slanted walls, it provides firmness in the lower part so that such a high wall can resist, right?
Kind of like a pyramid, somewhat.
Exactly. And here, National Park Service, who is the custodian of the castles and the walls, are repairing some of these walls, extracting roots from trees. If you notice, the walls on this right side have too many roots, and those roots can affect the walls. So they are extracting all these roots to make sure that our walls continue being there. These are very old walls, 400 years. So we want to preserve everything that Spain did here because it's a history that we all should learn about.
I should mention that originally St. Augustine was made of wood, and it burnt down twice in 1 century.
So
And
yeah,
after that, they said, all right, we're going to make the entire city in clay, adobe, and brick, and whatever,
that
stone.
happened here with
Yes.
the houses,
Yes.
not with the structures. Like anything that was government, they
The only thing that was
in
brick at the
stone.
time was the fort originally. That was it. Or coquina rock. That was it.
So here we have a guard, not a Spanish guard, but a Puerto Rican, and all the doors had an inscription, a Latin inscription with a Bible passage. Here it says, "Blessed are those who come in the name of the
Can't
Lord."
find it.
So this was the main entrance. But before the walls and the doors existed, this was the main port right in front of us. So the city started developing here, and this was a road that took you directly to a very important place. Where would that be? Don't tell me the bar. The church, very good.
Okay.
The church. At the end of the road, you have the church. And that is the church where people, after 3 weeks of traveling, will come here to thank God for a safe journey. So as we enter this gate, we see the thickness of walls. The question about how thick walls were. Here you can see it in the entrance. And also we have not the original door. This was the second door that was used, 1749, in bullet wood. We call it in Spanish ausubo, one of the many sturdy local woods used here. And yes, you're doing the same thing I'm doing, looking over there. You see that kind of light white building, white sand with a tower? They do rum there. Rum. What rum do you
That's a rum factory where that building is right there.
Bacardi, very good, very well answered. Bacardi is what it is. That is the rum distillery, the Bacardi distillery, okay? It was placed here in 1956, and I'm going to tell you a little story. It is a Cuban rum. It's not Puerto Rican. Our Puerto Rican rum, we have many brands. The most popular one, Don Q, and Ron del Barrilito. They'll talk about that when you get to the lounge. But another important thing that I love to stop here, notice it's right in front of the door. So you know how they called Bacardi Distillery? The Cathedral of Rum. Because it's right in the passage that takes you to the Catholic Cathedral. So there's a rum. And we'll get there later, very soon. So welcome to the city. The door of San Juan, the city. There we have St. John Baptist. All tiles. Tiles were brought from Spain. Careful cobblestones.
Yes.
You see how they start getting up. Traffic, how they affect it.
Our river's called St. John's as well.
See, mira, look up a red brick. On the right side, the governor's executive mansion, one of the entrances. And here we see 3 flags. The governor has her or his own flag. It is up when the governor is in the island. So we have the flag of the governor here. That means she is here. Remember, right now she's a governor. And this beautiful purple tree, it's called jacaranda. Careful, George. Where are you going, lady?
Oh,
Does she know where she's going?
just like St. Augustine. Yep, gotta watch the traffic.
She's lost. She's not supposed to be around here because...
We had the same problem.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, we'll keep going up. We're going to the church. We're gonna thank God we're still alive. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, now you're gonna feel, thank God it's not that much. We're gonna go up because in going west, it goes up. This house to my right is where Doña Felisa Rincón de Gautier lived. Remember the lady, right? The mayor of the city. She lived here for a few years. So this was her house in Old San Juan. Okay. And there you have her name, Felisa Rincón de Gautier.
Pretty, wow.
In this museum, they have all her collection of fans, her wigs, her outfits. She was a very elegant lady. And her furniture as well.
Once it climbing up the hill again,
Yeah.
just like yesterday.
All the elements of
Okay.
religion. We always see tiles. These are mainly brought from Spain.
Yeah.
With different devotions, mainly of virgins. Our Señora de Fátima, Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe.
It has a different name back home.
Yes. And the patron saint of the island is Our Lady of Providence. Buenos días. So people live
I was
around
wondering,
this-
yeah.
Yes.
People live here. People live here, okay.
This is residential and
Okay.
some are Airbnbs. And some are waiting for a new owner. If you want to purchase a property at Old San Juan, it's very expensive but very profitable because these houses, they're old, but they have a lot of space for small apartments. So people that purchase them, they become owners of a business, right? Another thing is, you notice the color codes in the 50s, they established a color code. You move here, you don't have to pay taxes as long as you keep the colors different from your neighbor. And
interesting.
when you remodel, you keep the same structure, right? And use near to the same materials. In the beginning, you had to use exactly the same, not anymore, because some of them are hard to find or you cannot purchase them.
Interesting.
Yes, but things have changed a lot. In some areas, you're going to see that they are not following any rules.
We have a similar thing in St. Augustine, though not with color coding. They prefer it to be a similar color, but you're not required.
Okay.
But
here-
the thing is that it's an archaeological city. So before you uproot a house to remodel it from the foundation, you must get permission from the local and state government because you have to get the U.S. Archaeological Department to go in
Similar.
and excavate for any hidden ancient artifacts below the foundation.
Similar but not so strict. It happens
Yeah.
here. Notice here's a cobblestone that you can literally pull out because they're not glued or anything. You see how thick they were, and
Yes.
you can see the color, the slab up here that has that metal thing of the remain of those materials. Venga.
Historical register.
We have people that take care of cats in this city. So that's why you see so many cats. People feed them, neuter them. They're city cats. And actually that's a sculpture of a cat with a giraffe.
Interesting.
It's called Gato Giraffe.
That's a sculpture of a cat, like a giraffe neck. Permisos.
Okay. So now that we are in the city, basically I'm going to just tell you a few of the things around and we're going to walk in the direction of the place where we're finally going to have Airbnb bathrooms and good food. Okay, all that in one. Okay, what's his name? Dawson? Dawson! Yay, we're going to make it to the island. We're going to say happy birthday to Dad too. Okay, so anyway, this is the oldest part of the city. You think of the city, it was the Ponce de Leon's family house, the fortress that was never used as a fortress, but later became where the governors would live, and then the church. Remember, that is one of the first things. Oh, and the hospital. So all of that was the first part of the city. Of course, this structure, as you see, it starts being built in the 1800s, but there is a very old part that is all the way to the end where the altar is. The location of this church is very strategic. The door is facing the main entrance, the one that was already established early when not even walls existed. That was the entrance because that's where the port was. The altar is facing the east, Jerusalem, okay? So there's all this whole coding of how to build. And the church had to be the tallest building of the city. Nothing else could be bigger. What competed with it later in the 1900s? Banks. If we go back to where we started, banks are as big and tall as the church. Change of time. But anyway, you can visit at any time the church. They ask for an offering, but that is not an obligation. If you enter later, please men are required to take off their hats. Women do not have to do that. Okay? That's the rules of the Church of Rome. They celebrate Mass during the day, and as a fun fact, Mark Anthony, his first wife, he's had a few already, his first wife he married with her here. His first wife was at the University of Puerto Rico, Diana Torres, and they both married here in this church, which is the cathedral. Now another piece that is also very old is this building that used to be the home of a lady who lost her husband when the Dutch attacked in 1625. So she went to Rome or to Europe to become a nun, Carmelite, came back and made her home a convent. It was a convent for 350 years. Okay? So what happened in 1905, when it closes, it becomes an abandoned structure, and the local government makes agreements with the Woolworth family to repair it and turn it into what we see today, a beautiful hotel that still is known as the Convent. It's one of the historic hotels of America, and it's a piece of our history as well. I'm sure that that's not how the house, the Carmelites look like, but still, this is where it rich person in the world. Milenchenko had a gallada and he would bring it here. I wanted to meet him. Better meet. He could have been my third husband.
He was saying that Russian oligarchs also make their home here.
Big art gallery, of course. This street, known the Christ Street, La Calle de Cristo, goes all the way up north, down south. Many shops around this area. No, eso pasa los fines de semana. Lo más que hay de artesanos es en la Plaza Colón, que está todo el tiempo al este, o cerca del muelle. Hay más de artesanos aquí. Ahora. Muy bien.
¿Verdad?
Hola.
Interior patio, they're all beautiful.
Pretty.
Wow.
And now this is a restaurant, a very famous Italian chef, Separati. Beautiful jewelry. You see, there's a lot of properties for sale. This guy, he's an Arab chief, Cherif Medawar. He bought like a lot of properties and now he's selling it. His wife died. No reason to have so much. Now he's sad. I haven't met him yet, but
narrow sidewalk.
There is a lot of glitches on that system that collapse at some point. At some point, it will like, so extreme measures, we're going to collapse. And we won't have funds for nothing. So, get the shade, sun is getting hot. This is the front main entrance of the fortress. It wasn't like this since the beginning. Like I said, it was only 2 white towers. Then it became a house. Look, these are our schools.
School kids.
Wear uniforms?
School kids have to wear uniforms here in Puerto Rico. There they are.
And loud people listen to them. That's a whole So this street will have the name of the fortress. This is called La Fortaleza. And it's a street that runs from west all the way to east. So we're gonna go straight down east. We go right, and that's where we're gonna stop. That's gonna take us very close to the pier. Where we're gonna be, it's not that far, okay? People are happy because they're on one of those field trips.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Learning about their culture, I guess. I'm not sure. But, and who's singing in that area? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny? Yeah, she smiled at Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's from Puerto Rico. Hell yeah.
I know Pitbull and Daddy Yankee and
Well,
Wizard
Pitbull is
Yangle.
Cuban.
That's
Daddy
right,
Yankee's
that's right, it's
Puerto
Cuban.
Rican and
Daddy
Pitbull
Yankee is, yes.
Venga, vámonos.
I know that.
Vámonos que la música va
I'm
por.
gonna watch for the traffic. They don't watch for us.
Yeah, let's stay on the right side.
Yeah, I think a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Wow, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Gotta go out here. Hey, dude. I'm sick of this. I think it's the first picture of Jesus I've seen so far. First picture of Jesus I saw so far. I expect to see more of them. The home where the birth of Pina Colada.
So this street has many shops, restaurants, and has the place where the Pina Colada was created. This happened in 1963, so this is a very popular restaurant. This was a bartender that they brought him from Argentina, Don Ramon Portas Mignon, and he made this signature drink for the island, which happened to be a very popular one. As you see, it's a young Rican drink. Would I use Bacardi for a pina colada? What do you think?
No,
No, right? Why not? Because
Bacardi's
Bacardi
more
is
Cuban. Yeah.
So you make a Cuban drink with the Cuban
Yeah, right.
rum. So I need a Puerto Rican rum. What is that rum? Well, when we walk
know.
by the door, you're going to see the brand of that rum.
I'm not sure.
There it is. What is the rum?
Don Pina Colada.
Don Q.
Don Cu.
So this is the cup of a pina colada,
Okay.
and that is the Don Q
I think I've ever heard of that. Yeah.
rum that is used to make the original pina colada. So a lot of nice shops. They have a combination of local stuff and imported. By the way, was anybody thinking of looking for the umbrellas? Have you seen those? So umbrellas is a very unique thing about this city. They were placed on that street, La Fortaleza. We don't have them anymore after 2019. The first lady left with the resigned governor, so we don't have them. But
Oh.
if you go online and see those, that used to be on this street at the end where the executive mansion is. the lights are now. Okay? One day we'll have them back. Vámonos a comer. Woo, we're on our way. Foodland. ¿Cómo está? Oye, usted no envejece ni una pizca. Usted no envejece nada. Yo llevo más de 20 años viéndolo igualito. One of our protesters.
Oh, we have many back home.
All day with that sign. All day. For years. Protesting for all the different things the government doesn't do.
College kids mostly in our town. Yeah. They don't realize how lucky they've got it there, though. They don't.
Well, I mean, insatisfaction is a norm to
They have to earn
a
it.
human being.
Yes. Live it and earn it.
Yeah. Beautiful shops here. They will print your name. Yeah, so they make these, and if you want your family name, they'll put it there. I have my own. Paintings, also local paintings, art, local crafts, spices. Very nice place. And the sound of the coqui frog. Listen to it.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Coqui.
Yeah.
If you're missing Marshalls, I have one here for you.
My mom would love that.
I know.
And my aunt would too. They love that place. Marshalls. Show Ann
Yeah,
that.
so this was the first large building with an elevator. Nowadays, we used to have a local, like, department store, but now it's a Marshall. So
And it had the first elevator.
Hmm.
It had the city's first elevator, you say, right?
The first elevator in this city.
Huh.
Yes.
Interesting.
So this is the 1930s.
Okay,
This
that's a
is
long
very
time.
large structure. Notice this breaks the rule.
That's really tall,
Until
yeah.
1950 that we will stop building things like this.
Downtown?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we start transforming, but then you see the city will remain as it is,
Mm-hmm.
not allowing.
St. Augustine's that way too.
Yeah.
You can't build tall skyscrapers downtown.
Right. So
That's, yeah, ours about that tall too.
there were
Similar.
times when these rules were not followed, so that's when you get stuff like this. Still, they have some historical value. We used to have a very nice shop there called González Padín. So it was a local Spanish-owned department store, was very popular.
Oh, okay.
More local crafts. Jewelry stores. A lot of options. Esta es la calle encendida.
Sí, hoy te ve gente aquí.
Sí, hay 3 barcos. Eso es. At least we're going down. That's good news.
Place
Where
remind,
yourself go.
place is kind of like San Francisco with the hills.
Not so inclined. but
Yeah, not
we're
quite,
going-
but
we're going
steadier,
down
yes.
a while.
Not as steep, yes.
A lot of local crafts. This is a Puerto Rican arts and crafts store. Excuse me. Puerto Rico is also producing local whiskey. They sell it here. It's called Buca. Yeah. Okay, and we'll keep walking. See if we have some space around here. Yeah, Buca whiskey. Okay, are we good? Stay on the sidewalk. It's a bit busy. Ay, está bueno. Pon tu radiecito con música. Para que se ponga la cosa viva.
Are we behind or are they ahead?
Oh, they're here.
Okay, that's another group. Okay.
Ah, ok. No, espérate. Ahí está.
Oh, slower.
We're
Okay.
a block ahead. We'll make a right, but we're there. Vamos, vamos. Ay, qué problema.
Go.
Okay, if anybody is interested in cigars, this is a very good, nice place. Inside it's, wow, amazing. And they have Cuban cigars, but not made in Cuba. Made in
Yeah,
another country.
I thought you couldn't get them here in America yet. Yeah.
No, you can get, well, they explained to me that they have
Cuban
people,
come over. People come and make them here. Yeah.
Not Honduras, Guatemala, they'll go there.
Yeah, that's true. You can go to those countries.
And
Yeah.
then with Cuban tobacco, they make them for Cuban cigars, but not in Cuba.
Right.
There's
Okay.
no else way to
Okay.
do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
That's
know
how they do
that
it.
works, yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't know how they can get out of Cuba so easily. So I guess they're very expensive to get. But we do have those here. ¡Huepa! Estamos llegando. Hola, ahí está. Ese spot seteado. Oye, ¿tú sabes que me quiero comprar una Pandora? Voy a venir ahorita. Te lo voy a comprar aquí. Eso. Okay, guys, we're going south now. Venga. Hola, saludos. Oh God. Venga.
You all right?
Yeah, no, of course, we're perfectly okay.
just stay
I
right.
want my lad to be the first one to come in. Vente. Vente. You're going to be the one opening the door
Oh, okay.
to the kingdom of food. Please do so. Would you? Arr! Okay, there he goes. Open it up for us. Thank you, sir.
Watch
Then
that.
when your family comes, we'll all go in, okay? Vamos. Welcome. We have arrived. Smells good.
It does.
Smells very boricua. Me gusta. Llegué.
You know, she's ready to try some.
Llegué. Esa experiencia cosa mini. ¿Dónde voy? Tamarindo. Hello.
Nice.
Eso.
Well, muchas gracias, señor. Muchas gracias. And say cama or room? Room. Ah, very nice. Muy bien. It's a lot to go. And cool and refreshing, yes.
Gracias. It's ours. We own this. Awesome. So we have a family of 5. If we do not have 5, I think we do. Let me see. you take this table, I'll just move this chair.
Well, I can take this one. And
And, I mean, Margie.
no problem.
Yeah. George can join you, right?
Sure, that's fine. I don't mind.
George. Perfect. Ale, you want this chair? This is the United States with a different history and a lot of things that you're probably not aware of. But now it's time for another piece of our history, and that has to do with food. And today for that we have Frances, which is a beautiful lady. A little secret, she's also an educator, so yes. She will teach you very well the arts of cooking. Hey Frances, do you cook like good food?
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite? I like to do rice and chicken. Arroz con pollo. I'm good at that one.
Oh, good.
Right now, I'm on mine. Doctores.
Tostores. Woo, I love tostores. Have you tried them? Well, let me tell you a little bit about my people. This is a family from Alabama. It's his birthday today. And that is how much. Entonces, these are from Illinois. And he's from St. Augustine, George, my
Hello.
friend. So we're all a
Hello.
big pack. This is their second stop. They went into Amber Cove, so this is their second stop. You started in Florida, right? I guess Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah,
right?
Cape Canaveral, Port Canaveral, yes.
Okay, yes, so they started there, and yes, it's their first time in the island, except for our traveler here. She came here on the cruise ship earlier, but everybody's their first time. So they learned a lot about Puerto Rico, and now it's time to eat. Restrooms. When you leave this, you see the kitchen side. You walk a little further, you'll see two wooden doors. There on the left, you open the door, they're the restrooms. Okay, you can go in anytime. And yes, I'm gonna leave the scene because if not, I won't let her talk. I'm gonna be quiet for a while and you enjoy your meal, okay? I'll come later. Thank you, Francis.
Muchas gracias,
In
Adriana.
good
Thank you.
hands.
Hello guys, hello again, and welcome back for you. So as I told you, my name is Frances. I'm going to be giving you your culinary experience, where you're going to learn a little bit about the history of the rum in the Caribbean and in Puerto Rico, and then our food experience that is going to be mofongo. You're going to prepare your own mofongo. I don't know if Adriana got to tell you that you're going to be cooking a little bit in your vacation. It's going to be very fun, a very fun activity. It's not going to be a lot. You're going to have like halfway through in, okay? So let's go back to 1530s when we had the arrival of Sir Francis Drake into the waters of the Caribbean. He was carrying something that was known as aguardiente. Aguardiente will be a more crude sugar drink. And when he arrived into these waters, he met up with the people that were living in the Caribbean, the indigenous people known as Taínos. So the Taínos, they had some limes and mint leaves that it would pair very well with the aguardiente. So when he mixed those, we got around into the first drink that was known as el draque. So el draque, after a while, when the African people arrive into these waters, they will use el draque for medicinal purposes to cure illnesses and stomach aches. So they will adapt el draque and change the name to be called as mojo. Mojo means to put under a spell. So they will use this to numb any kind of pain that they were feeling, and it will turn it into a medicinal option. So from now on, for the adults, you're going to have medicine right now, okay? So, years after that, we had around in 1800 the first rum that started to get developed or made in the Caribbean. That would be Bacardi rum. Bacardi started in Santiago de Cuba in 1862 by Facundo Bacardi, and when he settled in an old warehouse, he started producing this rum from the molasses from the sugar cane that around in the Caribbean in the 1800s. The sugar cane industry was our biggest industry in the area. This will be an example of the sugar cane. So we will have sugar cane plantations all around, and the sugar cane will pass by a machine that was known as trapiche, and the trapiche will separate the liquid and the sugar will go to the two different places. So from the liquid, they will start producing the rum, and the solid will to start producing the sugar. Okay. So Bacardi, after he started and he was searching for something to be more recognized as the name, he got around into the old drafts in the warehouse and he found some fruit bat nests in the old drafts. And the fruit bat represented to the people in the Caribbean, to the Taino, and to the Spanish people represented unity and good fortune. So we will put the symbol of the bat on the label and on the seal of the bottle. And of course, it brought them good fortune because this one became the #1 rum around the world. After starting in Cuba, it spread out, serving in Mexico and in Puerto Rico, where we still have the distillery on the other side of the bay in the town of Catania. So just in case you travel back to Puerto Rico and you're interested in visiting distilleries, you can get over here to San Juan, grab a ferry in pier number 2, go to the other side. That will be like a 13-minute going to the other side, and then grab a shuttle over there in Catania that will take you to the distilleries. So along with the Bacardi, we have the #1 rum in Puerto Rico. That will be this one, Don Q. Don Q started in Ponce, Puerto Rico. That will be on the south part of the island. In old hacienda that was called Hacienda Mercedita. That will be another sugarcane plantation that we had in the island. It started 3 years later than Bacardi by the Serrayes family. So the Serrayes family, when they began producing this rum, they will produce it in a old castle that they had in Ponce that was called Castillo Serrayes. And they start producing this rum that will be more softer, more distillated than Bacardi. So when they got around into searching the perfect name for this one, because it was a family business, they got around into the family's favorite book, Don Q. Can you guess which book I'm talking about?
Quixote. Don Quixote.
Oh, okay.
So Don Quixote de la Mancha as the character who was searching for perfection for the vida. So that was the same mindset for the Serrayes family into produces perfect rum. So for Paragons, this one is the one that we mostly use for all the cocktails and everything. And with it, it will come many variety of flavors or different types of rum. Okay, we have this one that is the Cristal, that will be the other alternative as Bacardi. Or we have the Don Q Gold, that it will be this one that will be a more golden color. Okay, that also means a more añejo or more aged. And another alternative rum that we have, it will be this one over here, Ron del Barrilito. Ron del Barrilito means rum from the little barrel, because this one was produced inside of whiskey barrels. In this case, will be Jack Daniels. So Ron del Barrilito started 18 years later than Don Q in another sugarcane plantation, but in this case, it will be in the town of Bayamón. It will be like 20 minutes from here. Hacienda Santa Ana. And over there, Pedro Fernandez started producing this one inside of the barrels that he will get from Jack Daniels. So the thing about this rum is that it will be a more aged rum, very similar as the whiskey. So we will have like a very similar color. This one over here, that it will get the color from the wood. And also a little bit of the taste from the whiskey, okay? So, Ron del Barrilito, you will find it in many different forms, and that will be because of the time of aging of each bottle, of each bottle. It will start from 2 stars, going up to 5, okay? And the number 2 stars means that it will have 3 to 5 years aging in the barrel. This one, the number 3, it will have 6 to 10 years of aging. Number 4 and number 5, it will go between 18 to 35 years of age. But the thing is, number 2 and number 3, you can find it around in the stores, only in Puerto Rico. and 4 and 5 only in the distillery because they have more time aging, they're more expensive also, okay? So just in case if you are a whiskey drinker, if you want to take this one around, you can find it in the pharmacies near the Pier area, okay? Like the Walgreens or Farmacia Calidad, that is right across from Pier number 3, okay? Let me check on your drinks, your mojitos, and then get back to you, okay?
Okay.
We have them over here, perfect, you heard me. So we have over here, your drinks will be your mojito. This is the one that I right now usually take, the one that doesn't have rum. So, the main ingredients for the mojito, as I explained earlier, of course, we will have the rum. In this case, the one that we use will be Bacardi. Bacardi will be the signature rum for it. Also mint leaves, lime wedges, simple syrup. The simple syrup will be a mix of sugar and water, and then a splash of soda. In this case, the one that we use will be 7-Up. Okay? So, take your drink and let's make a toast. So, over here in Puerto Rico, we have a saying that goes para arriba,
Para arriba,
para abajo,
para abajo,
hacia el centro
hacia el centro
y para adentro.
y para adentro.
Salud.
Salud. Saludos.
That would be up, down, center, and inside.
The sign of a cross.
Like
I got it.
I call it like christening your drink.
Christening, yeah, that's the way to do it.
That is very good.
Good way to say it. It's good.
I had one before, we didn't taste anything. like
Yeah, this is the best I've ever tasted, actually. Yeah, I have to admit.
I'm glad. Just in case, like when we also like we can switch the rum if you want to have another alternative for the mojito. We can switch from the Bacardi and then choose Cristal, or choose the one that are fruit infused flavors, or add fresh fruits to it. Okay, whenever we're making it. Rum de barrilito, as if you, barrilito, it doesn't mix. It's not like it's to take it straight mostly. But we can create like other drinks using it. For example, if you are into old fashioned, you can switch the spirit choosing barrilito. Also, in Puerto Rico, we have a very traditional drink that we mostly serve during Christmas that is called coquito. Have you heard of coquito before?
No.
No? Coquito would be like the Puerto Rico version for eggnog, but the eggnog, it has egg, coquito it doesn't have egg. It's a mix of many milks. That coquito, it will be created with coconut cream, coconut milk, condensated and evaporated milk, nutmeg, cinnamon, and the main ingredient, the rum. Okay? But we can switch the rum always for the coquito. The rum of your liking. You can use Bacardi, you can use Don Q. Even there's people that it will change it to barrilito and they will add flavor to it. For example, for the coquito, you can choose like if you want to add some almond flavor, chocolate flavor, coffee flavor. So for barrilito, the one that it pairs up very well will be the coffee flavor. Okay? So after this, we are going to start receiving something to eat. That will be our appetizers that are known as sorullos. The sorullos will be made from cornmeal, and we will create some kind of masa. We rolled it, and then we put it on a fryer, and you're going to have it paired up with some mayo ketchup. The mayo ketchup, of course, from the name, mayonnaise and ketchup, but we will add some spices and then minced garlic, okay, to elevate the flavors. So sorullos, we can also have it as appetizer or starters, or we can have them for breakfast. And for breakfast, it will have some cheese as filling, It will look, it will be like a type of like cheddar cheese, a very thick cheddar cheese that we call queso de papa or potato cheese. So we will have these sorullos, the ones that have cheese, with a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate on the side, and people usually will dip the sorullos inside of their drink, and they will see the cheese melt into the drink. Okay, this is a very traditional way over here in the island. Okay, but your sorullos is just going to be the ones that we serve for appetizers. That it doesn't have cheese, and it have the mayo ketchup on the side. Okay, so we have them over here. Wow, you think it? I say the name and then they appear.
How about that?
I'm some kind of magician.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
So, those will be the sorullos, and just in case, all the recipes for everything that
Here we
you'll
go.
be having today, all the
good.
recipes, we have them outside on a table, like right across from the bathroom. That the table it has like a red mantle, and you have all the recipes over there that you can take photos of them. Okay? Don't be like me. Don't take photos of the recipe and leave them on your phone in a folder that says recipes I will make. Don't do that. Okay? So, just in case, if you want another mojito, we can prepare another mojito. You can try the others rums that we have. But in these ones, like we charge them, it will be $7 for the extra mojito. It's more cheaper than the rest of the city. And you can try with the Don Cu Cristal, Don Cu Limon, and Don Cu Coconut, okay? Just in case you want to try a different type of mojito, okay?
So is that last one, is that coconut? Or
Yes.
is it, okay. I
Don
didn't
Cu
know if it
Coco,
was-
that will be coconut. This one lime, limon.
One,
Don Cu Cristal, or it can be made from Bacardi again, okay?
I want to do a coconut one.
Coconut? Okay. Before I give out the order, anyone else?
Sure.
Are you good?
I'll do coconut as well.
Coconut as well? Okay. Are you good?
I'm kind.
Okay. And you guys?
Lime.
Lime? Okay.
She wants a lime.
Okay.
Limon.
Only one lime or two?
Two.
Two lime? And the others were good? Okay, so 2 limes and 2 coconuts.
I have forgotten mi hijo, ¿cómo le va?
Okay. Voy a dar una orden de mojito.
Dale, que eso te va. So we're gonna drink more mojitos.
Did you order yours?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna find out if there's some extra. I was doing like some business stuff. Making a few calls. Catching up with my husband, but he didn't answer. What do you think? Yeah, he's in trouble.
Siesta or something else.
He's probably making a beautiful gift for me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, how was their sorullitos?
Muy bien.
Right? Did you dip them in mayo ketchup?
Yes.
Right? That's a Puerto Rican thing. With a different hint of garlic or mayo ketchup. And I see that you're getting ready for your mofongo, but you want more mojito. Awesome.
Both.
Oh, you want both?
You gotta try the coconut mojito.
Ah, muy bien. So here we come. Oh, mofongo time is coming. Mira, they never tried a mofongo.
And here it is.
I know they told me.
So this is a experience. And I'll leave you again with us.
Sure.
Enjoy. See you later.
Well, here it is, the mofongo.
So right now what you have will be the pieces of yuca. You're going to prepare your own mofongo. Okay? So right now, let me give you the pilores. The pilon will be the instrument that you'll be using to smash your yuca. You're going to use the wider part of the pilores to smash it, okay? Thank you.
Just go ahead and smash it.
Yes.
Pulverize it. Boom, 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 boom.
Mira,
¿Cuál sería ese?
un agua que había. Este es mío.
Okay guys, so just in case, because your mofonguera is different than mine, that one, it can be like, it can slip a little bit, okay? So you have to be extra careful. I recommend that you put your hand over here on the side, and then you're going to move it around as you smash, okay? That way afraid you're not going to have any pieces slipping off. So after you smash a little bit of your yuca, you can begin putting the other ingredients in. That means garlic that you have on the side, and then the pieces of pork rind if you're going to add them, okay? So you smash a little bit and then begin adding everything else.
How do you know how much garlic to put in?
Whatever you like. Let me help you with this.
So if I really like garlic, I can put it all
I'm
in?
showing how they mix it in there.
Yes.
Food channel. Okay, you're gonna mix the garlic and onion, herbs and sauce in it. Crush it really well, like a stirring, a little bit of a stirring mix motion. Pulverize it really well, just like you're gonna mix it.
Exactly. Did you already put in the
Pork rind.
The
No,
pork
okay.
rind.
Now we're gonna add the pork rinds. Add a little bit on it, top there, and you're gonna mash it into little pieces. Am I right?
Yes.
Maybe I should have been a chef. I worked at a restaurant for the last 25 years.
Yeah, I do. I need a
Okay. Can I put it
Am I
over here? Let
doing
me see.
well or doing good?
Yes, you're doing very good.
Okay.
Let me put it over here. The top.
I've never done this before.
There you go. Okay guys, so the way to have your mofongo, how you know it's ready, you're going to see that all the ingredients are very smushed together. It's going to have like a kind of like a similar look if you're like doing smashed potatoes. So you're going to see everything very smooth, very soft, and the way to leave it will be to have a little bit all around and then a little bit at the bottom. Like you're making a little nest. You're preparing a nest for the chickens.
Oh, okay.
So let me see how that's going. Wow. Yes. I know you're giving it a hard time, but you're doing
Then you
good.
take the pork rind, put a couple in there,
Very good, looking good.
mash it down, the little pieces, break it apart into little pieces like that. Then you-
Very good, you're doing very well.
Thank you. Never done this before. Your kids at home would love to do this. Am I shaking the table too much for both of you?
Well, I'm kind of trying to hold it down.
Yeah,
Down a
trying
little
to,
bit.
I'm trying to do a stirring motion, kind of crush it, help crush it.
It's all right.
Yeah, I think we almost got our mofongo here. Like, I'm gonna crush that last piece of pork rind there, make sure it's fully crushed and mixed in.
There's a table. I need to put my foot on it.
Yeah, it's a little rickety. One leg's higher than the other. Rocks too much, right? Might help in our situation, I don't know.
Okay. There we go. So I made my nest.
I'm gonna take a break, take a rest. There's a lot of mixing to do. We're gonna add the chicken to it, am I right?
Yes, the chicken stew.
Chicken stew,
That
oh,
has
looks good.
different pieces of carrots, potato, a little bit of everything. We have hoja de laurel. So we have a little bit of everything over here. So let me see how is that going. Okay, we're ready. We're ready over
Oh, whoa, whoa.
here. We're ready over here. You can put that on the side.
All right.
Let me see over your family. Yours is ready. Okay, so push it a little bit more.
That doesn't stand up.
Okay, so it can be like all blend in.
Make two of them stand on each other, balance.
Once you guys are ready, you can put the mortar on the side, okay?
adding the chicken stew.
Okay, so it's a little bit hot, so you have to be very careful as you taste it. Oh, we have yours.
Here you are. Did I mash up pretty well?
Yes, this is very well.
Thank you.
There you go.
Now, do you just eat from the like that, or just you don't mix it up anymore?
You're going to get everything in.
Lemon mojitos. It's already mixed.
Fork. Here we go.
Oh, birthday boy. Aquí está el provecho. Epa. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And these are mojitos with coconut.
Over here.
Coco.
Two.
We say coco para los locos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
De coco para los locos.
Might need to stir it a little hot.
Enjoy your meal.
So guys, over here on the island, we have a saying very similar as bon appetit. We like to say buen provecho. Buen provecho.
Buen
means
provecho,
that,
that's right.
Like enjoy your food, okay? So buen provecho, guys.
Buen provecho. Very good. Very good.
You're ready.
Wash down a little bit of rum. A mojito rum. Very good. And that's all. I'm going to eat the rest. Buen provecho, as they say in Puerto Rico. Bon appetit. Someone's having a birthday today. This guy's having his birthday today. This guy's birthday today. Feliz cumpleaños.
Happy birthday! Here is the combo.
You got it.
Birthday combo.
Wow, nice.
So as you know, over here in Puerto Rico, we're we call it pachangueros. We love celebrating everyone or everything. Also, like from the one of our people that works over here is also celebrating her daughter's birthday. So yes, we have a lot of March birthdays. Mine is next week.
Oh, well, happy. Feliz cumpleaños then.
Huh?
Feliz cumpleaños then. Buen cumpleaños.
Thank you. That's the first. So, but different sign because you are a Pisces. I'm an Aries. So guys, enjoy your quesito. Remember, as I told you that all the recipes we have them outside on a table that have the red mantle.
This is very sweet and delicious.
You can find us at Get Shop PR. Get Shop PR, it will be like shopping instead of the ing. It will be easy at the end. Get Shop PR. You can find any other tours that we give. We give a coffee tour, rum mixology and salsa class, demo for mojito experience. We can also work for private experience if you're bringing in a group of people. We can also serve this kind of experience to any group of people, or even we work with like bachelorette party or wedding party. We can also work on that. Okay, so you can find us in Get Shop PR, and if you like it a little bit too much, you can show us over there, and I appreciate very much everything the 20 from you.
Thank you.
So guys, once again, thank you so much for being a part of this experience. Okay, I'm with Adriana.
Thank you, Francis, and thank you all for being with us now. trying to decide what's next.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, George.
Very good.
Who've been like, oh my God, I best part.
Hi, you're
so
fine. You look
anyway,
great to me.
What are your plans from here to 5:30? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go back to the ship? Is anybody interested in that journey? I can meet you there. If not, shopping. Shopping is everywhere. So once we get to the lower part, and I'll walk you downstairs. If you go left, we go back to La Fortaleza Street. That was the street that had many shops. You saw it along the way. There's another street parallel going up north. But if you go down south, which would be this way, you also have shops, more fruit, not really, you want that, but yeah. And then remember the post people that are open space, that's also an option, and that will take you straight to Pier 4. You are right now in Pier number 4, so don't forget that one. If you get lost, get your map or just Google it.
And the castle is that way.
Okay, the castle, yes. So if you want to go to the castle, when we get out of the door, and I'll walk you that way, you make a left, and then you go all the way up. You're going to see a plaza that's called Plaza Colón, and then you're going to see the castle. So what you have to do is make a left, and start walking up where the castle is, and there is the main entrance. Yeah, it's not that far. You just have to go a little bit uphill, but it's a great view. From there you see the old city and the new city, and there's rangers there. They have a pamphlet. You can ask them for it. And yes, it's a $10 entrance. Okay, so that would be a great thing to do after.
I'd like to do that, I think.
The
castle, go to the castle, yeah.
Yeah, so once we get out, I can lead you to that way. What were your plans?
I don't know, we may head to the castle, I don't know.
Okay. Maybe you gotta see your plans or something like that.
This
I'm not
point is
sure.
where the ship is, so it's.
It's too late. If you wanna go back, it's going straight down. I mean, straight, not necessarily one straight road, but yeah, you'll see the ship on the south part. Going down is going to the ship. Going up is going far from the ship. That's the code, okay? So anyway, it's been a pleasure to have you here. Let's meet downstairs. And yes, if you want to do the restrooms, this is the opportunity.
Down the stairs we go. Our mofongo adventure is over. We had a great time tasting mofongo and mojitos and rum. And now we're going back downtown.
The houses are going to be masonry finally, because before them they were wooden. Government structures were made of masonry from the start, but yeah. You want to do the castle as well?
Sure, yes.
And I think the couple that is coming down, so I think my thoughts is I'm going to take you all the way to where I can walk you straight, and then you can go on in your own. Okay, so to make it easier for you.
Oh, we'll find it.
No,
Yeah, because I think they want to go.
Anyway,
down
I'm
to
gonna.
the-
Bueno. Okay, pues venga. I'm just gonna tell you how to get there. Ya, esperanito, pollito. Okay, you're going to the castle as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to the corner. Follow me. Venga, venga.
We're going to go to the castle now. It should be uphill. And it's a very old fortification. Yeah, see. So back uphill we go. All right. No, gracias.
Okay, so the easiest way with shops along the way is this way. Once you see the plaza, you're gonna go around the plaza, make a left, and then go uphill, and the castle is there. Okay, so that way, to the, where you see the plaza, make a left, keep walking, okay? Enjoy. Ship is going down, pier number 4, remember, okay? Enjoy, have a good one, and thank you for coming.
So we go this way, and this the castle, right?
Yeah, you see the plaza, and then you go make a left at the end of the plaza.
Okay.
And walk up.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're in the plaza going up toward the castle, right up there. Following this couple here, they're going along with me as well. She said make a left.
Yeah, it's right up there.
Go up there and make a left,
We
huh?
were rethinking. We didn't know if we wanted to go up, but it doesn't look like there's any shade at all.
Well, I doubt there is up there, yeah. I'm gonna go try it, I'm adventurous. See how it is. Plaza de Colón. Oh, good luck. Yeah. There's our ship in the back there. And beautiful San Juan. Alright, where we go? Where do I go up here? And there's our ship right there, Carnival. She said the lower you go, the closer you get to the ship. The higher you go, the farther away. Excuse me, do you ladies know a way to get in here?
No, I would assume up that way.
I'm thinking so too, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going in it today, but it looks like it will be up that way.
Okay, well thank you. I'm gonna try that. Try my luck. It's now 2 o'clock. About 3 hours till the boat leaves. Pretty steep hills here. Long way up there. Oh, nice. Wow. Wow, look at this view here. Wow. Excuse me, sir. Sorry. Finally made it. Finally made it. Ooh. Wow, look at the view here. Wow. square we were at earlier. And there's our boat, Carnival Vista, right with a red fin there. Can you see it right there with a red fin? Okay, let's walk up and see more of the fort. We go take a walk down the quarters here. This is a stepway here. It's like the lighthouse at St. Augustine. You watch your steps, it's a circular thing here. Okay, here's somebody coming up. Somebody coming up? Yeah. Yeah, it's tiny. It is.
Are you coming down first?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Alright. Well, we'll get out your way.
I got shades on, I can't see very well. I'm trying to
yeah?
manage the best I can.
You
I'm
got
also
fun.
videoing too as I go down. Oh, I see the little light now. Okay, it's not too bad. No, it's not too bad.
Well, he's got 2 cameras too.
Yeah, 360 and a phone. Oh, that was nice. Hey. Oh wow, cannonballs, look at that. Let's go outside and see what we can see here. Maybe there's an outlet here to that passage, to that back yard there. Let's see. Trying not to get lost in here. Yeah, that's the way. And that's the way back up, so I don't know how to get back there. Excuse me. Okay, must be the way down here. Not a whole lot, but you can go take a spiral stairway up to the very top there. It's easier, unless you want to take the ramp up there, a little harder, a little steeper. Either way. Here, back out in the courtyard. think I'll take one more last climb up there with a 360 camera, and then that'll do it for the tour, I think. Well, let's go in here real quick and see what they got here. I think this is a dormitory, or the barracks for the soldiers. Yep, I was right, it is.
Ready to fire will be upstairs. How do you get it up there? There's a ramp they put up. A wooden pole with a pulley. They drop the rope on here and they do this twisting and brings it up to the top. That's how they got it. This was not in here. This was put in here so it preserves it because we have a salt there environment. Now, talking about cement, look at this.
Let's move on ahead.
Look, here's what I'm going to show you. Without cement,
All right, going up top. Main battery fitting level 2. Yeah, let's go up here first and see what they got to offer. Problem is shooting in the day is it's so bright you can't tell what camera settings your camera's actually set to. Oh wow, look at this view. Okay, I think I'm on a video setting. Really steep climb up here. Look at this. Oh, look at that ocean. Wow. This is supposed to be the guide rails for the cannons turrets to move. Fire control station. Oh, built during World War II. Okay, used by the military to detect the position of enemy ships and submarines. Interesting. And inside. Watch your step, it's dark. Cuidado. Cuidado, yes. Wow, look at this. Man, what a view. What a view. Wow. Let's walk over a little further. There's downtown San Juan. Whoa, what a view. Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna take a few just in case 'cause it's black. I can't see with the sun.
Well, we come to the end of our trip on the fort in Puerto Rico, and now I'm leaving San Juan to go back to the port. It's been an amazing experience, and what a view, and a big wow. So see you in a moment. Well, it's the end of the tour of the port of San Juan. I'm going back to the boat. Had a wonderful vacation here in Puerto Rico today. Beautiful day for a vacation. And there's the boat, Carnival. And it's time to go back. Well, on our way back. Boy, traffic's amazing here. Got roosters everywhere here, along with pigeons, doves. It's illegal to touch the roosters here, mess with them, I'm told. Also sea turtles, you can't bother sea turtles too. Now time for a refreshing boat. Life's a good Coca-Cola. After a good mojito and mofongo. Well, pare means the end or stop, the end of our trip. We're back to the ship now. Well, I think we'll go down here and follow it.
Drive safe.
Wow, it's a hot wind over there. Now we're getting close. Go down this hill here and go through there, I believe. Cruz Calle, across the street. Walking back to the boat. Go. Ooh, don't let my hat blow away. A little windy. Feels good though, after a hot day in San Juan. Yeah, look at the U.S. Post Office right here. Yep. We're in the U.S., tropical U.S. Both ways before we cross the street. Okay, we're good. Look both ways before we cross the street, we're good. Might buy me a little souvenir here. Hola. Buenas tardes. Yes, how much for those Yes, that pestle, morning pestle.
This one is $30.
$30? Okay.
This one too. This is
All right, I might buy one. Then. Make my phone go with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which one you want?
Okay, I'll take that one. This is good. Wait, wait, the one has Puerto Rico on. I like the one with Puerto Rico. Okay, it does have it on
This
it.
one said this one.
I'll take the wood one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll go.
This one is want to get this one?
Sure, that's fine.
Get this because more big and more plata.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Sounds great. All right. Let me get that one right there.
Give me a second.
Sorry?
Give me a second. Let me.
A moment? Okay.
You see this? Give me a second. Let me.
Second, yes, yes, sure.
How much is it?
He's gift wrapping it. Customs probably gonna unwrap it. Look at it when I get on the boat anyway. Fine. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
mucho agradecido.
Gracias a
Much
usted.
appreciated. Thank you.
You too.
Muchas gracias.
Thank
Adios. So that's it. Got our souvenir of Puerto Rico, San Juan. And our boat, Carnival Vista, right there. Cat wants to blow away. There's a couple here. One more little road here. And that terrazzo tile bench is very popular here in Puerto Rico. Well, that concludes our tour of beautiful San Juan, Puerto Rico today. I hope you had as much fun as I had. And it's now time to go back to the boat, and the camera battery's getting low, so it's time to shut off from here. This is George saying take care, God bless, and see you in another exciting travel video soon. Tomorrow will be St. Martin. See you there. Last picture, San Juan.